What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Morning Brew Podcast. I'm your host, Kayla, and I am interviewing creatives every other week to bring you the human experience behind their art. This week, I am bringing you the long-awaited return of Courtney to the podcast. We are talking about aliens. We are talking about Pokemon. We are most importantly talking about his upcoming new album and the solo tour, which starts really soon. I'm so excited to share this episode with you guys. But before we get into that, please make sure you're following the Morning Brew Podcast on Spotify, Instagram, and YouTube so that you don't miss any uploads. It is completely free to you, and it helps me to keep bringing fun creators on the show like Barnes. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this episode. It was really fun to dive into all these crazy things. Let me know in the comments below what your favorite part of the interview was.
Ooh, hello.
Hey.
Hello, can you hear me? Aha, there we go.
Oh, perfect.
Hello.
What's up, dude?
Hello.
Thanks for coming back.
Hello. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, good, thanks. Just grappling with this microphone. I'm just gonna
Honestly,
do what I want.
it wouldn't be a podcast without tech troubles.
It's like falling over. Huh. How to do this shit. Aha. Okay.
Nailed it.
Nailed it.
Awesome. Well, welcome back, dude. Apart from Jermaine, you're the only one with a sequel so far, so that's pretty cool.
Whoa. I know Jermaine's put out a pretty fancy record, huh?
Yeah. Oh my god. I asked him to write something funny on mine, and he sent me a photo from his homecoming dance.
That's amazing. Yeah, that record was great. I listened to it many times.
The bathtub is like so fancy.
I thought just his ability to create that cover by himself was so amazing. I was really impressed.
I was very impressed. So tell me about your like Patreon and Barnes Courtney Vintage.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, we opened up my storage locker and it was just like absolutely rammed. Like you couldn't even get to the back with merch from like the entirety of my career. And I've just been leaving it there because I thought nobody would want it. And then I mentioned it to my fans, like, this is so funny. I can't even get into my storage locker. It's so rammed with merch. And they were like, well, we want that. And I was like, what do you mean? Like it says like 2021 on it and shit. Like there's stuff from like 2050 that's got like tour dates. And they were like, yeah, we want that. That's like vintage. And so I was like, oh shit, okay, fine. So yeah, we made the website and put it on sale, and it's been going good. People seem to really like it, so I'm very pleased about that.
That's good. I've loved seeing it pop off in the sultry secret posts. I think that is so funny and chaotic.
For the Patreon, I think I just noticed that I had more of a core fan base than I realized, I think. After creating the like Instagram like private messages and after creating the Discord, I realized there's a lot of people that are interested in like really doing a deep dive into stuff. So
Honestly,
I set up the Patreon initially just to post like free content of the backstory to my last studio album. But then people were like, oh, can we do like an actual Zoom? Like, can you do this that this other artist did? So I was like, oh shit, I really need to like up my game here. So now it's all like tiered out, and now you can like sign up for all manner of different things. And if you really want to, you can do like an hour FaceTime stream with me once a month and get like a monthly Polaroid subscription. I just didn't realize people cared that much. So it was nice. It was gratifying to find out from the fan base they wanted that.
No, that's super sweet though. Do you do like streaming video games or something when you're on it?
Twitch. Or is it... Yeah, so I do.
Okay.
On Twitch, I was streaming video games, but then I realized that like what people really wanted was not for me to stream games, which I suck at, but I love. They just wanted to talk. So now I just go on Twitch and just hang out with the chat for an hour, like 3 or 4 times a week.
Oh, that's super cool. You are like dropping teasers for a new album. Can you tell me anything about that?
It's probably going to be the most somber of all my records. It's very, very concise compared to some of my previous stuff. It's about like loneliness, isolation, estrangement, lots of like very, very sad songs. But I love it. And it's very cinematic, like lots of big strings, very 70s inspired, kind of like Ringo drum beats. Um, yeah, so I mean, I've had it almost done for about a year now, but there's huge problems that I can't talk about because they're ongoing, like political issues trying
Oh
to get
no.
it out.
Gotcha.
And I've been in this story before. This, same thing happened to me. My first record deal when I was like 19. So it just feels like a repetition of a nightmare. But yeah, but I'm excited. I'll be playing like a bunch of the new songs at least on the live acoustic tour, and probably like play them on various TikTok lives and be posting them on Instagram and stuff. So I do what I can in the meantime.
That's so cool. Is there lore behind this album the way that there was with the Supernatural album?
No, I mean, the Supernatural album is the only concept record I ever made. And I was hoping to tell the story of that one through music videos, artwork, comic books. But unfortunately, um, because of my record label being sold to Warner and then Warner restructuring, um, I had to release the album between 3 different record labels, and so there was just, like, no will anywhere to spend any money marketing it, which also meant no videos or other kind of auxiliary creative ventures, and that's part of the reason why I started, all these little, like, core fan base outlets because I wanted to tell that story so badly. There's, like, 40 pages of lore, you know? Um, but this new one, it's very introspective, very, very personal. Um, it's what my lockdown EP was supposed to be. The EP over lockdown was supposed to be an album, but the label didn't want to pay for it. So I just
Love.
did an EP. But yeah, so it's gonna be in the line. I'll probably put Dopamine and Hard to Be Alone on this album because they were always meant for it. So it's gonna be a lot of stuff in that vein.
Ooh, that'll be so fun. I'm like really excited about it. And you mentioned the solo acoustic tour, which I'm pumped about. What can people expect for that compared to like a full band show?
There's a lot more random, chaotic, unpredictable crowd interaction. People, like, have full-on conversations. People, like, call me from the back of the audience, and I have conversations on the phone, like, it's ridiculous. I'll be, like, talking to some random girl, like, in the 3rd row who, like, doesn't wanna be there. I'll be like, "What seems to be the trouble, miss? What seems to be the issue?" No, she'll be like, "I just came here with my friend. I don't know any of your songs."
Oh
Like,
my God.
there's, like, full I'll bring people on stage, and they'll, like, tell the story of what they think my song is about. That was really funny. And it's a lot more raucous than I thought it would be. It's sweaty, like,
Oh,
sometimes there's crowd
interesting.
surfing, which is ridiculous when you're doing an acoustic.
Crowd
Um,
surfing to acoustic music is crazy.
I don't know, I can barely understand how it works. Uh, but yeah, so it's been fun. It's felt like I've actually had um, a much deeper connection with the fan base on these acoustic shows, as much as I love the huge band ones. And it's been nice to kind of revisit the songs in a totally different way.
That's so fun. I'm looking forward to hopefully causing some chaos with you in Austin.
Oh, fun. Yeah, I'm looking forward to Austin.
Last time we got you to strip, so I'm like, well, what are the chances of stripping at an acoustic show?
I
Probably
did. I mean,
slim,
you never
but
know.
never zero. So,
You never know. Yeah, never say never. That I was so roasting that day. I can remember I came out in a full leather outfit, and it was like
I
101
was
degrees.
judging that choice for sure. And I was like, in the summer, in full leather, your pants are probably like a swimming pool. Like I
Oh
can't
my
even do
god.
that.
Well, they would have been if I hadn't taken them off.
Also true.
One of the best shows I ever saw was Cage the Elephant, and the singer came out in, like, the middle of summer in Florida in, like, a full fur coat. Like, I think it was faux fur, but you know what I mean, like a big, like, 1920 style fur coat
Yeah.
and a full outfit on underneath, and then halfway through the first song, the coat comes off, and then after the second song, like, the jacket underneath the coat comes off, and then, like, the shirt comes off, and then there's, like, another shirt, and he just keeps stripping layers, and every layer is, like, a completely new outfit until eventually, by, like, halfway through the set, he was just, like, completely naked apart from, like, a tiny pair
Wow.
of tidy whities and some
Oh my
sunglasses.
God. This is like a Russian stacking doll of
It is.
outfits.
It's like a Russian doll of nudity, a Russian doll of HR complaints.
I wonder if anyone has ever brought like an inflatable pool and just performed from the pool on stage, because that would be kind of dope.
Such a good idea. It'd be so fun. I mean, there's a lot of
I
electronics
I
up
give you
there.
permission to use this idea.
People would not be chill about me getting in and out of the pool, I'm sure. I've had
Hey,
shows where,
splash
like,
zone.
when you do shows in, like, certain backwater parts of, like, Europe, they, like, don't do the electronics properly, and I've been, like, electrocuted really badly on
Wait,
stage.
what?
Yeah, I don't know, I can't remember where I was. It was, like, some random middle of nowhere on tour with the Struts, and yeah, like, the mic, you'd be singing, and it would be like, like, really, and it hurt. There's an intense pain in your lips, and it'll, like, really get you.
Oh my god. That's actually insane.
And then to have to, like, keep performing with the thing that's, like, consistently trying to kill you, the microphone. Um, so yeah, paddling pools, fun
Mm.
to
Mm.
watch. Perhaps not the greatest idea in practice.
Yeah, not if you're getting electrocuted by the microphone, no.
I mean, singing from a paddling pool, it's essentially like using a hairdryer in the bath.
That's fair. Live, laugh, toaster bath.
Yeah. Oh, I like that. I want something that says that.
I'll make you a shirt. I'll bring it to Austin.
Okay, thank you.
I got you. So tell me a little bit more about the street team, because I've heard lots about it, but I am not educated.
Yeah, the street team, like, was and a lot of these 'cause I find technology really fucking difficult, like,
Me too.
impossible. I just so hard, like, I wasn't meant for this era being a recording artist. I would have been great when interviews were like this, or even better in person, and you go into radio stations, and you, like, go into TV studios, and I just like Twitch is so fucking hard to set up. Like, what the fuck? It's not like TikTok where there's just a button that says go live. There's like 50,000 different things you have to do and set up. You need like a fucking college degree for that shit.
Oh,
Same with Discord. Same with building a vintage site, Same with like any other thing that involves a computer. So my girlfriend has been like masterminding all this shit for me, which is great. Cause then I just do the bit where I talk to the audience, which is the only bit I know how to do.
that's good. That's good. I need someone to do that for me because I'm also terrible at technology.
Yeah, I'm so grateful because I want these fan interactions. Like I really I love them. I'm so grateful they want to talk to me. I have so much fun genuinely hanging out in the chat. Like I really, really do. I'm just not the kind of person that is particularly good at like making a TikTok video every day because I'm so ADHD. I just like fucking I don't know. I don't think about it unless something's in front of me. And I don't feel like
Oh,
talking unless somebody's like there engaging me. Um I don't have anything to say, just sitting alone in my bedroom. So it's been a really nice way to actually feel like I'm regularly engaging with, the people that make my career possible, in a way that I haven't been able to before.
no, that's super lovely. So are you sending them on like missions to like put up posters and put some cool graffiti or so, I don't know.
Yeah, these people are, like, completely revolutionizing my whole career. I already owed everything to my fans, but now, like, all these people are stepping up on the street team and, like, carrying out these missions, and they're making these, like, different posts for my songs, and, it's so much fun, and then in exchange, they get points, and they can put the points towards, like, free gig tickets or, free merch, um, and we've just been having a blast, and they get so creative, like, for Halloween, people were, like, carving pumpkins and, like, making different artwork, um, I'm constantly amazed by how creative my audience is.
That's super cool. I mean, speaking of like creativity with your audience, last time we talked, you showed me this two-faced crack doll that was gifted to you.
What the fuck? So many of my fans commented on the video I made of that, like, "Oh, you're so tolerant." I'm like, "I loved that crack doll." Like,
Do you still have it?
I don't know who I think my keyboard player, Davis, took it.
I'll have to ask him about that. That's so funny.
I
I
want
saw
that doll. I should have that crack doll.
I think you should. I think you need to just keep it in like an Annabelle cage.
It was so unhinged. This lady, like, it belonged to her great-grandmother who made it while she was on crack, And then it was passed down throughout the family. They all hated it because it reminded them of their cracked out grandma. And then this lady, following in her grandma's footsteps, took like 2 bottles of Adderall and like changed it so it had my face on one side and Luke Spiller's face on the other side.
Honestly, iconic. I think you should sell these as merch.
Yeah, I really should. I should sell that one as a
Have the
one-time
street team
thing.
make crack dolls for you.
I need a street team crack doll.
Honestly, yes. I saw that since then someone also gave you like a slice of brain or something on a slide.
Oh my God. I just love like weird people and weird shit and all the I mean, that was amazing. Yeah,
It's so
she was a
random.
scientist studying, I think it was like studying Alzheimer's or something. And so yeah, she gave me like an actual slice of brain in a slide that you can look at under a microscope.
No,
Amazing.
that's so cool. I was
And she
gonna
was like
ask
nervous
like
to give it to me. She was like, "I don't know if this is weird." And I was like, "No, like
I
you're
mean
my
like
favorite."
yes, but also it's cool.
Yes, but like perfectly on brand.
So like okay, so the follow-up question would be have you gotten anything else that's beautifully unhinged or what would you like someone to bring you that's beautifully unhinged?
I mean, some of my favorite things have actually been quite wholesome. Like there was a girl who bought me a poetry book and she like wrote like a whole note in the front cover and signed it. And I love
Oh,
stuff like
that's
that.
sweet.
Some of my favorite things, like I love antique poetry books from hundreds of years ago. Because I love the idea that like, so many people would have owned them and read them and like it's full of all these emotions. And I love it when they have inscriptions in the front from hundreds of years ago. I've got this beautiful book of like Lord Byron's collected poetry and like there's this like 150-year-old inscription from this teacher to his student when she graduated his class, just being like, I think you're going to go on to do great things and you've really inspired me as a teacher. And, um, the handwriting is like so ornate. It doesn't even look like it was written by an average person. It looks like someone's deliberately labored over this. Um, and I love that kind of stuff. So I love when people write in poetry books for me and thinking about like, wow, in like 200 years, if this book survives, someone might be looking at this and being like, who the fuck is Barnes Courtney? And like,
Why are there so many poetry books signed to
yeah,
Barnes Courtney?
with his name in it. But also, I love it when fans, once I was on stage and I have terrible eyesight and I don't know how I knew, but I saw this girl in like 1,000 capacity venue or maybe 2,000 in like the very back, like holding something up. And I was like, what the and in between songs, I was like, what is that? What? I don't know why. I had this premonition, I guess, this like clairvoyant sixth sense moment where something in my soul told me that's a shiny Charizard card from 1999.
Shut up. Was it?
I was like, is that a fucking Charizard card? I was like, come to the front. And
Give
she
me
comes
the
to the
shiny
front and
Charizard.
she was like, yes, I brought this. I didn't know how I would get it to you. And lo and behold, it was like an authentic shiny Charizard card from that. So like that's probably my favorite thing that I've ever had. I love Pokemon cards from the 90s, but they got to be from the 90s because I'm OG. I don't like that new
Mm,
shit.
that's fair. No, that's so cool. It was shiny too?
It was a shiny. It was
Honestly,
amazing.
even better.
And then my
So
girlfriend for Christmas, fuck, I'm gonna knock my Nintendo Switch off of the
oh
wall.
no.
Gave me this unopened pack of Pokemon cards from 1999.
Yo, let's go.
I want to open these so fucking bad. It pains me, but I can't do it because like they've survived for so long and it would be such a travesty to open them, but I want to know.
I feel like you should give yourself a year and then open it on that year.
Yeah, I should like open it uh on our like diamond anniversary or something.
Oh,
Like, bottle of champagne.
totally. That would be
But
so
yeah,
fun. Let's rip this pack of Pokemon cards.
and then I have this PSA 2
Yo.
Charizard, which is like one of the worst ratings you can get. If one of my fans brought me like a high or any, to be honest, any 1990s Pokemon card, I would be so stoked. Because that
I'm
was a time
taking
in my
notes.
life when like 1999 was like the quintessential child Barnes. I was like 8, 9 years old, having a blast. Like Nintendo had just come out. You know what I mean? Like that was peak childhood for me. I mean, I even wrote a song about it. So this is like a frozen memoir of that time.
Just a whole collection of 1990s Pokemon
That's
cards.
all I want, please.
Everybody bring those to the acoustic tour.
Please.
You've got these cool VIP dinners also for the tour for like 10 people in each city, is that right?
hmm I I was on tour and I guess I've been touring for a long, long time and doing VIPs. And it always struck me how people would come and I always intend to I want to talk to people. I want to get to know the people that have like taken the time to come and like chat to me before the show. And I found so many people would be so shy. I'd be speaking to these crowds of my fans and no one would say anything oftentimes. And then afterwards, when it was done, people would rush up to me and tell me really like personal stories about how they connect to the music or tell me something hilarious or like want to give me a gift. And it'd be so sad because I'd have to go and warm up my voice and get ready for the show. And the venue would be like, okay, we have to open doors, you have to get these guys out of here. And I just thought like, how can I create an environment where people feel like the family of weirdos that we actually are? Because we are a family. Like they give me everything and genuinely love them and I want to chat to them. And I thought, well, I started thinking about my own family and how no matter what estranged girlfriends that, my brothers have or like some weird aunt that we've never met before, like no matter who turns up or one of my mom's like random ass friends that is like kind of creepy or something, like no matter who's there, once we all sit down to dinner, all the awkwardness like seems to lift. There's something deeply ingrained in the human story about breaking bread together that opens people up and brings down barriers. And I thought, I bet if I just have the fans come to a dinner, then we would be able to connect on a much deeper level. So there was one meet and greet. I think it was on the Struts tour, and I think only like 15 people showed up. And so I was just like, let's get out of the venue. Let's all go and eat something. And it worked. Like the vibe was so good. And suddenly everyone went from being so awkward to like laughing and joking and like people are talking to each other and making connections. And I realized there's something subconscious about everyone standing in a huddled group of strangers in a venue when it's dark that says Barnes is talking like this isn't for you to talk. You're watching, not participating. And and the dinner completely eradicated that. But I thought 15 people felt like it was too much. 'Cause there was like a section of the table I couldn't chat to. I was having to get up out of my seat,
Mhm.
like go over there. So I thought I should limit it to like 10 people max so that I can make sure like we're all in this group together. Um, yeah, and it's been so much fun ever since. I actually much, much, much prefer these to the other meet and greets.
That's really cool. I've never heard of an artist doing something like that before, and I think that's like a super unique experience. And so just in case anybody's like on the fence about going to one, I've got some fun questions for you so that the people know what they're signing up for in terms of family dinner. So, Barnes, on any given day, how much sawdust do you think that you could put in a Rice Krispie treat before somebody would notice?
It depends on how drunk they are and how much chloroform I have, um, or or how much COVID they've had. Like, I feel like somebody post-COVID, I could sneak a lot of fucking sawdust in there,
You
and they would have no
probably
idea.
could.
I could be like, "Oh,
Someone did
it's
a science
the
experiment
texture's
about
supposed to
this.
be like that, you know? It's a healthy Rice Krispie treat."
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Someone actually did a science experiment about this, and they found that up to 15% of sawdust can go undetected.
That's so interesting. I love that you just bring that to our interview
I wa
apropos of nothing. But yeah, I mean,
Like, I
because you
get
think
it.
about how much processed shit they put in our food anyway that we don't notice. You like look on the back of like a box of Twinkies and there's so much random fucking shit in there that isn't even food. So of course it makes sense. Well, this used to be a huge problem in old England with flour. They used to cut that shit like it was
Oh.
cocaine, you
Oh,
know? Because there was no like FDA, there's no food regulations.
true,
So every
true.
time flour would change hands to increase their profit margin, each vendor would just add like whatever white powder they had at the time. So by the time it got to the common man and it was baked into bread, you were eating all kinds of shit. And people were dying. They were dying from bread.
That's I wonder if in one of your old poetry books, someone has posed the question, how much cocaine can you slip into flour before somebody will notice?
Yeah, yeah, it depends on the concentration, how much is going on per piece of bread. Also, I feel like when you bake drugs into things, they don't spread evenly.
They
I remember
don't. They
once this
really
girl,
don't.
like, she made some pot brownies. Um, it was a girl I was seeing at the time. She was in the Kicks music video, and, she, like, made these pot brownies and brought them to the hotel, like, the night before the video, and I had one and she had one, and I was, like, fucking off my little tits. I went into the future. I went into another dimension and I rode an astral beast, like, to
Yeah.
the bus stop in the next town. Like, and she was fine. She didn't feel anything. And I was like, "Oh, well, I guess I just can't handle my drugs." And then the next day, the opposite happened and she had one. And we realized, like, the weed had concentrated into, like, little pockets. So some brownies were, like, fucking crazy, and some of them were, like, nothing at all. So I feel like the same would happen with cocaine, is the point that I'm
Of
making.
Okay, no, that's a very valid point.
I mean, I'm not a scientist or a baker.
Not a scientist, but they
I
definitely
do have a
don't
shiny
prescribe
Charizard, and I feel like that entitles me to some
Oh,
kind
yeah,
of weighing of my opinion.
absolutely. What is your most questionable fashion moment?
Oh, I have so many. Maybe the most questionable is I've always, always loved anime, and I'm old, so I can say I loved it before it was cool. Because like, all my friends growing up in the suburbs of Seattle, a lot of my friends were, um, of my best friend, Tijo Kamara, like, his family was, Chinese, Japanese mixed. So before, like, anime had even, like, started to become, like, a big thing, he was showing me, like, all these shows and, like, getting me into the culture, and, so growing up, like, as a music artist, I wanted to, like, emulate these characters that I had seen, like, in our sleepovers, and, I bought this, like, huge pair of, like, snowboard boots, like,
Oh,
cherry
boy.
red snowboard boots, and they barely fit, and I used to wear them everywhere, and my little brothers were so embarrassed, and they were like, "Oh, do you have to wear those today?" They were fucking stupid, and I, like, would trip over them all the time because the laces would, like, catch on each other. They kinda made me look a little bit like Cloud from Final Fantasy. I'm gonna try and find this image.
I'm pumped.
No, you know what? They're actually way more like, Astro Boy.
Oh, okay, I
Just
know
like
what you're
that.
talking about.
I looked like
Oh
that,
my god. You had
which
the moon shoes before it was a fashion choice.
which in my head was, like, super cool. Oh, I also used to wear, I tied a string around, like, a plastic Pokeball, and I used to wear that as a necklace.
Like one of those old ties? Or like an just like straight up like a necklace?
I, like, found, like, a piece of plastic wire, and I
Oh.
tied it to a plastic, like, children's toy Pokeball,
That's crazy.
and I used to wear it as a necklace.
It's kinda awesome, though. I mean, the irony is that I'm Japanese, but I'm like a failed Asian. I, like, don't watch anime, I don't eat sushi. I've disgraced my ancestors and their cattle.
I mean, I kind of do too, as, like, an English white man, you know? I I'm the worst. I'm the worst English man in the world. I don't have an English accent, I sound American. I don't eat spotted dick.
Yeah.
Never eat fish and chips. My grandma's very disappointed in me.
Oh my god. Okay, what's the wildest conspiracy theory that you believe in?
Oh, I don't know. There's so many good ones. I think aliens are real.
Oh, I agree with you.
100%. Aliens are fucking real, and they're here, and they've been here for thousands of years, and the government's covering it up. I swear to God, that's a thing. It's coming out. We're gonna see it in the near
I think
future.
we already saw one. It's Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah, right? They're walking among us right now.
They're what is it? Sheeple?
Yeah, wake up, sheeple.
They're everywhere.
I I made
Um,
friends with this lady, this older lady I met at Chateau Marmont, and she was telling me, she's like, darling, well, of course, my friend was dating an alien in the 70s.
oh,
Yes, she was due to be married, and when she came home, she found her lover's ring melted in the box. I mean, can you imagine? So these are the kinds of people that I resonate with.
what do you mean melted?
She said that this lady was like, she was due to be married to a human, but then she started dating the alien, and the alien was
Okay.
jealous, and so, like, from a distance, he melted her wedding ring in its box.
That's bonkers, and I believe it more because it was in the 70s, I feel.
Yeah, it's definitely happened if it was, but I swear to God, aliens are fucking real. They are. There are, like, multiple government agencies that have put out videos corroborated by radar, by like thermal imaging from like different, you know, aircraft and ships simultaneously filming the same thing. And whatever this craft is, it breaks the laws of physics uh, due to how quickly it turns and the speeds that it gets up to. Um, like, so it could be another nation's technology, but if it is, then they have surpassed our own understanding of the laws of physics by an enormous margin. So, like, there's some crazy shit going on. And there was that village in Brazil. There's a guy, he did a whole like documentary about it, and he goes and there are like grocers, um, there are drivers, there's like a like professional neurologist, um, military men who all interacted with this like alien that crashed in their small village, and they all say on camera like, yeah, we saw this from their own different, these are people that don't even know each other from like different perspectives. And he had to work on the dock for like over 5 years because tons of people didn't even want to come forward. But he's got this neurologist who eventually came out and said like, yeah, they brought the alien to me like in my hospital. And then, like, you know, the military came in and they took it away, and, like, it's fucking crazy shit. And this dude is, like, he was super old. He wasn't, like, some new, like, you know, hot neurologist trying to make a name for himself. In fact, he lost his job afterwards immediately. 'Cause they were like, "We
Ouch.
can't have some guy that believes in aliens working here." And they had to rehire him because they didn't have anyone else who was as skilled as he was. There are, like, top government officials who worked in the Pentagon, former US presidents like Jimmy Carter have gone on record saying that there are aliens. Like, it's outrageous the amount of evidence out there, but we don't talk about it.
Dude, totally. There's a group in Thailand that have like a temple in like the highest mountain, and they go into this like super deep state of meditation because they're like communicating with aliens, but they're tracking the brainwaves with like those like sticky things or whatever, to see how deep they're going. And then if you scan them with like a thermal scanner, when they make connection to like talk to the aliens, their body temp goes up to like over 105, and it's not
What is that
everyone, it's,
called? I
like,
wanna see
just
that
one
shit.
person. I'll write it down, and I'll send it to you. I'll email it to you
Okay.
because it's on HBO. There's, like, an episode on it, and I'm like, "This is actually the craziest shit I've ever seen."
Well, I didn't know that you were insane too. I thought you'd be like, "What the fuck, Barnes? Aliens aren't real."
Oh, no, I love a cryptid. And also, I don't trust the government for shit, so honestly, agree.
The word conspiracy has become a dirty word. It's become a word that is associated with insanity. And yet, the idea that no one in the world has ever conspired to perform acts under the cover of a lie is ridiculous. Like, you think no one has ever used their power and influence to shape the world around them to their benefit ever and then lied about it? Because that's what you're saying if you say you don't believe in conspiracies.
It's the ultimate form of gaslighting.
It is. It is. In fact, I've read, and I don't know if this is like actual on the record, but I've read that that was part of their strategy in the 50s to discredit aliens, was to link the idea of conspiracy with insane, crazy people. Apparently, they all started showing up when we were testing nuclear weapons. That's what brought them all to the forefront. Check out, I mean, just watch these interviews. Watch like Bob Lazar on Joe Rogan, or like watch this interview about the aliens in Brazil. Like none of these people are happy to be talking about this. They're all terrified for their lives. Like they all look uncomfortable as fuck. Their stories are consistent. Bob Lazar was mocked for years because he said that they discovered a new element in one of these crafts on the periodic table. I can't remember what it was called. And he's like going on and on about it, and he's listing all of its properties, and people are like, "You're fucking crazy." They discovered the element like a couple decades later, exactly what he said. It comes out
What?
like it's nuts.
That's no, that's crazy. National Geographic posted a fake documentary about the real mermaids in like 2010. And I remember like my mind was blown. I was telling everyone in school about this, and they're
I
like,
want
"No,
mermaids to be
it was
real.
fake." And I'm like, "Since when does National Geographic post a fake documentary?" I'm like,
Since
"Y'all
they
are."
like ran out of shit to talk about because they'd already
I'm like,
covered it.
"You're literally holding these mermaids hostage. Like,
They
it's
ran
too
out. They
accurate."
ran out of country, just like the History Channel like ran out of history, so they had to start making stuff about ancient aliens.
Oh my god, that guy.
Yeah, the ancient aliens guy. And that's what people think of when they think about aliens. That guy's ruining it for everyone.
You're giving us a bad rap, dude. Step aside.
I'm giving myself a bad rap.
But it's convincing though.
It's real. Look it up. It's real. They're
We're just
here.
gonna exchange alien documentaries after this.
Yeah, that's my main goal in life. This is just to exchange alien documentaries and increase the public awareness about extraterrestrials.
People need to know about them. Okay, and then what is something that you're really proud of, but you don't usually get to brag about?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm often like very disappointed with my accomplishments, like too much. Gratitude is so important. It's even if you don't believe in, any of the law of attraction, like cosmic woo woo stuff, having an attitude of gratitude in your daily life enables you to be so much more energized in everything that you do, so much more optimistic, and to have more fun and have a better time. So I know it's important, but yeah, most of the time I'm just like, oh fuck, I haven't done anything. I was I was watching this like little mini documentary about Ed Sheeran today, and he was talking about how he was like, yeah, I used to play in the Steamboat Tavern in Ipswich to 20 people. And I also used to play in the Steamboat Tavern in Ipswich to 20 people at the same time, but I still play venues that exact same size. And he's like the biggest artist in the world, and I'm just sitting there like, God fucking damn it, Blanche, you really fucked it all up, Everything's ruined. So yeah, I don't know. I need to spend more time being grateful for my life.
I do that exact same thing all the time. But I like asking people that question because it's so interesting to me how a lot of the time the people that I look up to, I'll ask, "What are you proud of?" And they like can't think of anything for a hot minute. And
Yeah.
I'm like, "Oh,
It's good to strive and to have big goals, but it's also important to be grateful. Um, there was a study that I watched. It was like a little mini YouTube documentary in happiness. And there was like this one old woman who was like, she had a perfect score, the only one in the study. So they brought her back in and they're like, you had a perfect score. How did you do that? And it was gratitude. She's like, every morning I wake up and I just think about the most basic things in my life that I have. Thank you for soap. Not everybody has soap.
true."
Thank you for a warm place to sleep. Not everybody. She was like so happy saying like, thank you for a warm place to sleep. Not everybody got a bed. Like, and like that was the cornerstone to it. It's amazing. I think when you have a negative attitude about things, you miss opportunities. There was another study done where they had the like three groups, the test group, the A and the B and the C, walk down a busy street. And they'd done a survey with these guys, and one of the questions was, do you consider yourself a lucky person? And almost every single person that said that they were self-identified as a lucky person, they saw this truck come down the street with a sign on the side that said, call this number and we'll give you $100. And almost every person that identified as an unlucky person didn't see anything. Well, they drove the truck past all of them, like every
Oh,
single group
yeah,
got the
yeah.
truck. But and what they were saying was, oh, they all saw the truck, but your brain absorbs so much information from the world around you that it has to choose what it brings to the forefront of your conscious mind, and the rest is subconscious. Those people didn't see the truck because it didn't match their deeply held narrative that I'm unlucky.
Mhm.
It would change the core of their accepted being, you know? And so, like,
Yeah.
optimism really is a strategy. It's really a winning strategy. Gratitude is a winning strategy. Um, and I would probably say that a lot of my problems in life stem from my poor habits sometimes in maintaining, like, good gratitude practices.
I'll practice more of that this year. I want a lucky truck that will give me $100. What the heck?
Yeah. See? How many lucky trucks have you seen? No, none? It's because 'cause you're not
None.
practicing gratitude. Duh.
That's my fault, obviously.
Duh.
I'm gonna consider myself lucky and then go for a walk later. Maybe. Maybe I'll find a truck
You
with
should. You
money.
will.
A bank truck will just crash right in front of me and I'll get to walk
Go to
away.
jail for stealing
Yeah, I know.
$2,000,000.
But I have, in my wallet a get out of jail free card from Monopoly, so joke's on them.
Once a policeman gave me a challenge coin, which I'd never heard of before. They're like
A
little
what?
coins that policemen have coins. Did you know
It
that?
wa
They have,
it
like,
like
special, like, commemorative coins that they carry around, and they, like, give them out
but, like, for what?
for, like, doing something that they deem as, like, particularly excellent.
Oh.
I kinda
Hmm.
thought for a while it was a get out of jail free card, and then I Googled it. It was like, "No, do not try and use that as a get out
Oh,
of jail free card."
okay, so there's no okay.
There's no benefit other than the the satisfaction of a job well done.
That is actually I just learned that Delta pilots have trading cards. Like
No way.
apparently if you ask them for one, they'll give you one and it's, like, got the different plane models or something.
What? Do they have shinies?
Do you have a shiny Boeing 727
Because
or
how
whatever
cool
it
would
is?
that be if they were, like, rare, you know? And if, like, certain pilots that were really hot shit, like, got the super rare cards.
They get the holographic one.
They get the holographic ones, yeah.
Dude, I
Like,
think we
whoever's
should,
piloting those Japanese Pokemon planes with the Pikachu on the side.
oh my god, that would be awesome.
I want that one.
I think we're onto something here. I think we should pitch that to them.
Yeah, I wanna ride one of those planes so bad.
That'd be so cool. Okay, so the last thing that I do, I started this thing where the former guest asks a question for you, and then you can ask a question for my next guest.
Okay.
So I just had wrestlers on the show, and they would like to know what is your favorite Ryan Reynolds movie and why?
Oh, man, I don't have a very good memory for that kinda stuff. I'm sure I love Ryan Reynolds movies. Let me see what I have to Google what he's done.
That's
Oh,
fair.
obviously Deadpool. Duh.
That's a great one.
Well, it's a really boring answer, but, like, that's genuinely how I feel. Yeah, hands down.
Okay,
Deadpool by a significant margin.
Deadpool it is. Okay, and now you could ask anything for my next guest.
Um, what do I wanna know about society in general? What did you do that you probably should have been arrested for, but got away with anyway?
Oh no. I'm so curious to hear the answers to this.
Who's your next guest?
My next guest is Hilly Hindi from The Hillywood Show. They do like fan parodies on YouTube.
Oh, fun.
Super fun. I can't think of anything that they would maybe get arrested for, but maybe I'll be
Yeah,
surprised.
maybe you'll be surprised.
Okay, and then lastly, before I let you go, I like to give a space for shameless self promo. So tour, album, street team, what do you want to plug?
Yeah, doing this big, sweaty acoustic tour across the US and Canada. So I'm super excited about that. Um, and yeah, I mean, that's about it, to be honest. Still trying to get my record. So
Sometime soon, hopefully.
hopefully one day.
All right, well, this will come out right before the tour starts, so I'm like, let's try to sell out all these shows.
Oh, can you imagine? I've never sold out an entire tour before. That'd be crazy.
Oh, challenge accepted. If I pass this challenge, do I get a challenge coin from a cop?
Yeah, absolutely. You
Probably
can have
not.
my challenge coin.
Okay, challenge accepted then.
All right, deal.
All right, well, thanks so much for joining, Barnes. This has been so fun.
Oh, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Of course, I'll see you in Austin, and I will message you the name of that alien episode.
All right, yeah, please do. Don't forget.
Okay, I'll do it like right now.
All right, see you in Austin.
Okay, bye. See you in Austin.
Bye.
That's all for today's episode, guys. Thank you so much for listening. I'm going to be linking all of Barnes' socials in the description below and the link to buy tickets for his upcoming acoustic tour. If you happen to be coming to the Austin show, come say hi. I will see you there. In the meantime, make sure you're following the Morning Brew podcast on Instagram, YouTube, and wherever you're listening to your podcast today so that you don't miss any uploads to come. Next time, if you happen to be in the fandom space in 2014 or before or presently, I have a very special treat for you because I am welcoming to the show Hilly Hindi from the Hillywood Show, and we are here to talk about Hillywood's 20th anniversary, amongst other things. She has been such an inspiration to me. I'm incredibly excited to show you that episode. So make sure you're following so you don't miss it because it's going to be a really fun time.